Welcome to Contemporary Cooking at Home. Let's cook Christmas dinner. In this video, I'm going to show you how I cook this full Christmas dinner for 8 people. I cook it in a total of 4 hours. Thankfully, this clip will be a little bit shorter than that, but you'll see everything that I do, from how I roast the turkey to fantastic crispy potatoes, beautiful stuffing cake. Then we have sprouts sauteed with bacon lardons and chorizo, honey roasted parsnips with steamed carrots and steamed broccoli, gravy made from the juice of the turkey, big chunky pigs in blankets, homemade Yorkshire puddings. This is one delicious Christmas dinner, and I'll show you how you can do it pretty much stress free. The first thing I'm going to start with is my turkey. Now, I've got my turkey from my local butchers in Preston. Adrian lives in the indoor market. This is from a local farm, and by doing that I'm supporting local industries, local businesses. Okay, so the first thing you need to know with your turkey is the inside is the giblets. Now the giblets are the bits you need to remove, because usually they're in a plastic bag, and you won't have been the first person who will have cooked a turkey with the giblets still in there and made a right mess. So what you need to do is remove that from the inside of the turkey. This is going to make your gravy. This is going to make the best, real tasty gravy. So what I'm going to do with this is empty it in a pan. Okay, so these are your little bits, your liver and your neck from the turkey, the kidney, there's the neck. Okay, so we can put that in there. That's going to be part of our gravy. So let's prep the turkey, because it's going to take the longest to cook. My turkey here is 4 kilos. So 4 kilos requires a cooking time of 3 hours 20. Now this is worked out by the bird needing 45 minutes per kilo at 180 degrees C. So we're going to start with prepping the turkey. Underneath, when you're getting your turkey, you need a large oven tray with a trivet, and the trivet keeps your turkey above and lets all the lovely juices flow out underneath, and that is what we'll be collecting and also adding to the gravy towards the end of the cook. And at the end of the cook, we'll empty out all the juices from underneath. And because it's going to make the gravy, we're going to put some onion in there. So we can put the onion in there. And with some other aromatics, we're going to add a little bit of rosemary and a little bit of thyme into there, and then we're going to get a couple of garlic cloves. Now the great thing about this, because we're going to use it as gravy, we don't actually need to do anything with the garlic cloves other than just smash them like that. Okay, so they're nice in, throw them in. We're going to add some boiling water to that, and that's going to make the stock of our gravy to go with the things that are inside from the bag of giblets. So I'm going to place the turkey now onto the tray. With the other half of the onion, you can see that I've just sliced through it, but I've left the root on, and I'm going to put this inside. Now it's really important that you don't actually put stuffing inside the turkey, because it slows its cooking down. You're adding weight, that won't be cooked properly through. you'll be overcooking the actual turkey meat trying to cook the inside of that stuffing. So it's much better to make stuffing separately, which we will be doing. Okay, so now we've got our turkey ready on there. I'm going to get some smoked bacon, and with this smoked bacon we're just going to put it over the breast of the bird like so. And what this does is just protect that breast meat from the heat of the oven. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll just put a little bit of this streaky bacon just over the top of that leg there, and just on that leg there. Fantastic. Now we're going to make a tent from the tin foil. Okay? So, a little cheeky trick that I once found, because if the tin foil touches the turkey, then it does stick, and then it's really hard work when you're trying to peel it off. So the little trick here is you put a carrot on top, and that acts as a little sort of like a tent post sort of thing, so that it just keeps the foil away from. Make sure you get your turkey foil, which is nice and big enough to cover, and you want to wrap this nice and tight. So as you can see, the carrot is there protecting all your foil away from your turkey. You can just pull it out so that you can make sure none of it's touching. Crimp it all around onto your oven tray, and I've set my oven at 180 degrees C, and this will be cooking now for 3 hours and 20 minutes. But half an hour before we're finished is when we will be removing the foil to let the turkey brown up. Okay, so we can pop that in. Bye bye turkey! See you in a bit. Looking forward to eating you. Right, so now we've got our offal. Gonna get another onion. This is going to be our finished pot of gravy. So we're going to put a couple of onions in, a couple of halves of onions. Now you don't have to be too accurate with this, because eventually it will just be, we'll sieve it away to make the gravy. So all you need to do, nice quick chop of the onions. And pop that in there with the giblets. And I'm also going to get a couple of slices of smoked streaky bacon, and I'm going to drop them in, and that's just going to give a little bit of depth of smoky flavour to the gravy. I'm also going to add a little bit of rosemary, a little bit of thyme, a little bit of white wine vinegar, and some black pepper.
Why do you need to put in all these herbs and stuff in?
Well, this will cook through, because we're going to put this on now and bring it to the boil, and then when it's boiling, what we'll be doing is simmering it and leaving it and letting all them flavours infuse through. All that will be sieved through, but if you, the herbs and spices that are put in there are there to give it a depth and richness of flavour. Now it's time for the roast potatoes, because these will take the next longest. I've got 12 here. I've got the red rooster potatoes, but Marish Piper are an excellent variety to make roast potatoes out. I'm now going to peel these. I've now peeled my 12 potatoes and I'm going to steam them now for 30 minutes. Okay, let's have a look at our steamed potatoes. What I'm looking for is them cooked through, nice and flaky, a bit like that. So I'm just going to probe and it should just slip nicely through. That's fine. Turn off that heat and I want them to cool down. So what I've done, because there's 8 of us, we're going to be having 8 pigs in blankets because they're quite big. Now with the bacon, I'm using smoked streaky bacon, and I love the smoked flavour that it brings to the pigs in blankets. And what I'm doing with the bacon is I'm just smoothing it out, thinning it a little bit, and you pick that end up, roll it. There's your pig in blanket. And again, lift that up and then just roll it. And there you are. There's your pig in blanket. I've got everything ready to make the Yorkshire puddings. I'm going to make it with my own batter mix. I'm going to use here a muffin tray, but we're going to use it for Yorkshire puddings. We've got 175 grams of plain flour, 4 eggs, 300 ml of full fat milk, and a pinch of sea salt flakes. People are often scared of Yorkshire puddings, and there's nothing to them really. But the key is to use some goose fat. And in your muffin tray, you just want 1 spoon of the goose fat in each one.
Why do you need the goose fat in each one?
Well, it sort of like fries the oil, but you need to put it into the oven to heat the fat up, and you want to get that as hot as you can. I've got my little side oven on now at 225 degrees. And I'm going to get these Yorkshire puddings in the oven and cooked, and then just, you can put them to one side and rest them, and then you can just refresh them just before service, pretty much like you would do with like an Aunt Bessie's one, where you straight in there. So I'm going to put this in my side oven, set at 225, and we want that nice and hot. So that goes in there. While that's heating up, we can make our mix, our batter mix. So let me get rid of the scales. 175 grams of flour. So what I'm going to do first of all is just add in 2 eggs to start off with. Okay. And I haven't sieved the flour, but what I'm going to do is actually make it into a paste. Very slowly, adding the eggs, and then slowly add in the milk. And what you do is you make a paste, basically. Right, so can you see that starting? You can see that that's sort of all been absorbed up, so I can put the other 2 eggs in. I should be really flashing to it with one hand, shouldn't I? There you go, just to show you that I can. Right, so just very gently start mixing it all through, and if you can see them, sort of just pushing down, so that's smoothing out any lumps. And you can sort of see now, it's coming together into a paste. You want this nice and smooth. Just add a little bit of the milk now.
And before you add in the milk, you need to make sure that there's no flour at the bottom stuck.
That is correct, yeah. So we just want to make sure that it all starts to mix through nicely. Just adding a little bit of a time.
Doesn't look the best looking at first, but...
Well, by the time you get all the milk in, then you'll see. Bit more milk now.
So do you need to use all of the milk?
Yeah, I've measured out the milk, 300 millilitres of full fat milk. So I know that it's all going to go in there. And the idea is you just add it slowly, and then it all work through, making sure that they're all nice and smooth. Bit more milk.
And when it sort of gets kind of gloopy, does it mean that it's coming together or something?
Well, yeah, it does. Because you can see here, I've just added that milk in. And it takes a few stirs just to get it all through, you see. But now what you're getting. And it's good using a spatula like this because you can just make sure all things nicely squeezed in.
Bit more milk.
So as you can see, as it's taking on more and more milk, it's getting thinner and thinner, which does make it a little bit easier to mix. And there, your batter is coming together. And now, add the rest of the milk. I'll stir this in, and then what I'll be doing is I'll cover it and I'll put it to rest in the fridge while the goose fat comes to temperature. Okay, I've washed my prepared sprouts and I'm going to put them on the steamer for 15 minutes. Now it's time to get that Yorkshire pudding in the oven. I've transferred the batter mix out of the dish out of the fridge into the jug so I can pour it easily, and in the oven the muffin tray with the goose fat is now up to temperature, okay? But the key to this is keeping it at that temperature. So a little trick is I put that oven tray into the oven, and that's also hot. So now when I carefully bring this out, I can put him on that tray and that heat will keep it from the bottom. Okay, so now very quickly, carefully, that little sizzle is what you're looking for. Should have that little sizzle. And these are going to go back in the hot oven at 225 for about 20 minutes. But it's really important that you don't open the oven door. You let the Yorkshire puddings rise and then carefully put them back in. And we'll see them, we'll have a look in about 20 minutes. If you look through the oven door, you can see the outside of the Yorkshire pudding starting to rise. Okay, I'm going to go and prep now our stuffing, and I'm going to make it into a stuffing cake. So what I've done is I've purchased a very well-known brand of stuffing and I've emptied the box into my mixing bowl as per instructions. I'm going to add, just for my own little flavour, about half a tea of a little bit of garlic powder, just to bring up the flavour a little bit, and some good chunky black pepper. Pop that in there. Okay, so according to the instructions I need to add 700 ml of boiling water to the mix. Okay, mix this through, and unlike the flour, this can remain. We're not trying to get rid of all the lumps, but we are just trying to make sure that there are no dry bits. So we'll just mix it through. As you can see, there we go. So now as that's mixed.
It's stuffing.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it. So, I've got myself a nice terracotta dish, which I've just give a wipe round with olive oil, just so that it doesn't stick.
And a little pat down to make it look like a cake.
And then we're gonna just pop it all in. Like so. Okay. And then all I'm going to do with my spatula is just go all the way around, and it just frees up the stuffing mix from the edge of your stuffing. And there we have. You've got your stuffing cake there. I'll just remove that from the side, then it doesn't burn. And what I'm going to do now is wrap that, and then it's ready to go in the oven. Okay, so let's get on with the sprouts. They've been steamed for 15 minutes, so they're just cooked, but there's still a little firmness to them. In my frying pan here, my non-stick frying pan, I've put 2 tablespoons of goose fat. We've got some sliced chorizo and some smoked bacon lardons and some finely chopped onion. So what we're going to do, we're just going to saute off the onions and the bacon lardons. Then I'm going to slice the chorizo, even though it's already sliced it, into little strips. And then we're going to saute them all together before adding the sprouts. Then you can just turn the sprouts through the dish, then plate them up into an oven dish ready for a little bit later. So here we go. Put the onions in first. Okay, just give them a second just to cook through. While we're doing that, we'll slice our chorizo. So it comes in a big slice like that. And there we go, that's ready to go in. Smoke bacon lardons. Get them in. Oh, smell instantly. Oh, that simple smell of onions and the smoked bacon. This is how to make sprouts tasty. Obviously sprouts are one of the controversial ingredients and that's on a Christmas dinner. Some people love them, some people hate them. There's different ways of cooking them. I think this makes them absolutely really tasty, and I'm sure you guys will too. Okay, I'm going to add the chorizo now. And obviously, chorizo, you know, on a British Christmas dinner, some people say that, but what it does, it brings a lovely, smoky, paprika flavour to the dish. And what we're doing is making the sprout, which is a bit of a bland sort of, not much to it vegetable, we're bringing all these flavours to the sprouts and making them come alive. Okay, these have been sauteing in the pan for 5 minutes now. They're starting to get a bit of colour on them. I'm going to add the sprouts to the pan. And all I want to do is just turn them through so that they just get a nice coating.
There's a lot of sprouts.
Well, there is 8 of us.
And not 8 of them will want sprouts.
Of course they will. Everybody loves sprouts, especially the way that I cook them. Okay, so I'm going to put this into an oven dish now.
Ready to be served.
All we need to do 20 minutes before service is pop it back in the oven. Okay, 20 minutes later, let's have a look at these Yorkshire puddings.
They're looking good.
Whoa! My word, look at them. You can tell they're not Aunt Bessie's, can't you?
Strange, but the good thing about it is homemade.
Proper homemade. They look lovely though, don't they?
Yeah.
Oh, listen to that crunch.
There's only one that actually looks like a proper one.
But you can see where there's different parts of the hot bit of the oven. This one doesn't seem to be doing so well. But there is only 8 of us, so at least these ones we can discard, so that's no problem. But the great thing about doing this is now I can put them into this serving dish, put them in a cool place to cool down, and then we can just pop them in the oven 5 minutes before we need them, and they're ready. Okay, so the turkey's now been in the oven for 2 hours 50 minutes. It's got another half hour to go, so now is the time to take the tin foil off. I see, yes, well.
And be careful not to burn yourself. And the carrot's cooked as well.
Huh. Yeah, but it does its trick, does that, doesn't it? So now what you can do with the carrot is you can just drop it down.
Didn't you stuff something in the middle?
Yeah, well, you leave the onion in there. Okay, and then what you can do is just drop that in there, and that will go into the gravy. So it's going to go back in the oven now for about half hour, something like that, and then it'll be all nice and ready. And now I've got 4 carrots, which I'm going to slice and put them into my steamer, ready for when it's half an hour to go. Right, it's time to get the turkey out of the oven. It needs to come out half an hour before you service to
Oh, this looks different.
let it rest.
And it looks
Okay.
like there's less chicken.
Well, it's
Turkey.
See, this is now the advantage of having your trivet tray, because you can just lift that over and place it on there. So you keep it in a warm place and let it rest before you carve. At least half an hour. Half an hour to go. This is when the fun really starts. All that work, all that prepping that we've done is all paid off, because now it's just a case of finishing. So we'll put the carrots on the steamer. Stuffing mix and the pigs in blankets can go in the oven. And the juice from underneath the turkey I'm going to pour into the pan that's been simmering all day with the giblets in.
With the carrot.
With the carrot. All adds a little bit of flavour. And we all like all these flavours. So now I'm going to turn the heat up on this, and as it comes to the boil, all the fat that is on the surface you can scoop off, as the fat will float on the actual water. Okay, parsnips. I've already cleaned them, I find they work best if you don't peel them, if you don't chop them up. I've just took the ends off, and all I'm going to do is a quick drizzle of honey. And then
pinch of salt,
sea salt,
and
some black pepper. Okay, they're ready to go in the oven. Now the gravy mix, nice and boiling. Well, that's still got all the giblets and all the onions that the turkey was cooked in. So now what I'm going to do is just pass it through the sieve to get everything out. Just stand back, Amy.
Yummy gravy.
Okay. So now you can get rid of these. They've done the job. They've passed the flavour to our gravy. 20 minutes to go. There's our sprouts ready to go in the oven. And the parsnips that we prepared earlier with the honey, they can go in. Okay, I've washed my pan, sieve, going to pour it back in, but I'm going to use the sieve just in case it didn't collect anything and there's some debris left in. And then what you'll see, just at the bottom, is some little grainy bits, yeah? So you don't need to put them in. I'm now going to put this pan on a high heat to reduce down. Reducing it down removes the water content and intensifies the flavours. I've chopped my broccoli, 15 minutes to go, pop that on the steamer. Now the potatoes that we steamed earlier are now ready. In my pan here, I've put approximately 200 ml of goose fat. And basically, to get these perfect potatoes, we're going to shallow fry them. But as I'm going to pop them in, now the idea is that you put them in without disturbing them, okay?
What do you mean by not disturbing?
Well, you don't need to shake the pan about. And I'll put them in the 12 o'clock, clockwise, so I know which one I've put in first and which one to turn first. So the potatoes now have had a couple of minutes on that side. I'll start with the one first and go around in the same order. Look at that beautiful colour. Oh, that crispy bit there. They'll just take 2 or 3 minutes on that side and they'll be done. All that they need now on that side is a little bit of the sea salt. Oh, don't they look fantastic? Okay, so you can just see on the surface there, that's where the fat is collected. So all you need to do with the soup ladle is very carefully scoop off the top, and then we'll get rid of that. There's just a little bit more. There we go. And then all I'm going to do in a minute is just have a taste and correct the seasonings if it's needed. Okay, 5 minutes to go. The potatoes are now done. Oh, look at that, that's just absolutely beautiful.
Can't wait to eat that.
Oh,
Beautiful.
so tasty with the goose fat.
The goose fat gives it extra flavour, what makes it even better as well.
Extra flavour. Oh, you can feel how crispy they are. And then I'm just going to pop them in the oven Oh, look at that one, all them crispy bits on. Oh, that's what Christmas Day is all about. Right, that's great. I can pop them in the oven and I can pop the Yorkshire puddings in. Okay, reduced down now as the turkey gravy. I've just checked and tasted it and it just needed a little bit more salt, which I've added, but now I'm going to thicken it using corn flour. And I've made about 1 litre of gravy and it'll take approximately 4 teaspoonfuls of corn flour. You put it in a cup, you need cold water, and then you mix it in the cold water and you mix it all through so that all the flour is melted into the water.
Almost dissolves.
There you go, just looks like milk now. And then all you need to do is get your gravy moving,
Pour it
in, just gently stir it around and you'll see it start to thicken. There you go. Now, I don't like the kind of gravy that you can stand your spoon up in, so if you do, then you add more corn flour. It's ready, time's ready. That wasn't too stressful, everything was fairly calm, we've done it all, it's all ready. So now I'm going to serve it all up. First out, Yorkshire puddings.
Nicely cooked again.
Beautiful, huh? We'll pop them there.
And then we're going to put the pigs in blankets.
Pigs in blankets.
They're nicely cooked.
Oh, they look good, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
See, they're much better than them little scrappy things that you get from the supermarkets, aren't they?
And you can just go to the butchers and buy them instead of going to Morrison's or Sainsbury's and buying them already done.
Right. There's our pigs in blankets, right? Let's get this out of the way. Oh, look at that. Beautiful stuffing. If you just fluff it up, you get all these lovely crispy bits on top. Oh, look at them. Fantastic. That's what your roast potatoes should look like. Okay, that's everything out of that one. Here's our sprouts cooked in smoked bacon lardons with chorizo. Here we've got our parsnips
With honey drizzled on.
roasted in honey. Oh, they're lovely. How nice do they look? Okay. Put them there. Then on this side,
Some carrots.
there's the carrots. Oh, get rid of that. Okay then.
And last,
Here we go.
the broccoli.
Some broccoli. Everybody in our family loves broccoli.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
Lots of broccoli.
There's our broccoli. And now, all we need in the centre
Is the turkey.
is our turkey. Now this. The only thing that's left now is we'll get our Christmas gravy bowl. And there's still plenty left for seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, there you go. Christmas dinner. Cooked in 4 hours for 8 people. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, Contemporary Cooking at Home. Make sure you click on notifications. I'll be cooking loads of fantastic, tasty recipes throughout the year. Thank you very much to my camera person, my daughter Amy, who is age 10, who has done an absolute fantastic job. If you have any questions about how to cook this Christmas dinner, make sure you ask me in the comments section below on YouTube. Make sure you give me a big thumbs up, and thank you very much for watching. Have a very, very happy Christmas and a brilliant New Year. Thank you.